Hello, everyone. This is going to be your yin practice. So, a lot of stretching, a lot of relaxation, a lot of meditation. So, find yourself seated on your mat, close your eyes, place your hands on your knees, and just relax your shoulders. Take a deep breath in through the nose and exhale. 2 more times. Inhale and exhale. And 1 more time. Big inhale and exhale. We're going to start to breathe a little bit more focused, with breathing in through the nose for 4, pausing for 2, and then exhaling for 6. So go ahead, relax those shoulders, take a deep breath in for 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause, exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause, exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, pause. Exhale, inhale, pause. Exhale, inhale, pause. Exhale, inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Exhale. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just go back to your regular breath now. And just notice if we've calmed the nervous system now that we've been thinking about our breath, lengthening the amount of time. My counting was a little faster, even though I was counting for 4, and then I elongated it out. So again, as we start to settle in, we're able to control our breath a little bit more and extend out the length of time that we inhale and exhale. Now that we've done that, we're going to take it to our child's pose. So very slowly make your way onto all fours. Take those knees outside of your hips, the toes touch, and you're just sending your bum all the way back. Once you've done that, go ahead and drop your elbows down. You can stack your fists and let your head just rest so that you still have a lot more airflow between you and the mat. If this feels good for you because you don't want to be so deeply pressed in between your knees with your chest, you can stay up this way. If you'd like to lower yourself down, forehead to the mat, and reach your hands up over your head, you can feel free to do that. If you can get those hands to come together, interlace those fingers, and just bring those elbows a little closer to the sides of your head. And if the forehead is on the floor, and you can actually get it to where your hairline would be, so that you've got just the top of your forehead on the mat, you can gently roll a little side to side and start to massage out that part of the skull, that tends to hold a lot of tension. We hold like a lot of our muscles pull upwards to move our eyebrows. We got a lot of expression in the forehead, so we're just going to gently do a little rock side to side here and just release some of the tension in the forehead. If rocking side to side feels really good for you, you can continue with this one, or you can just come static. And if you've interlaced those hands, see if you can bring those thumbs behind your head and walk your triceps or your elbows a little bit more forward, and then drop your chest down a little bit more. And so that's going to stretch in through the triceps. Again, you're just letting your chest fall. You're taking in some nice deep breaths here. This is releasing into the triceps, allowing a little bit more space for the chest to expand, allowing the head to rest heavy. Again, if this one is feeling particularly good, you can stay here. I'm just going to give you a bunch of variations for the arms, depending on what your shoulders might need. This one is quite nice. I find if you've got tight triceps or you've got some soreness in the lats. But if you want to come and bring those hands back down up over the head and take those hands out by your shoulders, go ahead and do that. And we have the ability to walk those hands palms faced up and just let them rest down by your sides. And this is just going to allow those shoulders to roll forward. It's a little bit more pressure on the forehead, so make any adjustments you need to. And just let those shoulders roll forward. We have a tendency to want to keep pulling our shoulder blades together. Just let them roll forward. If you need to take a look, this is me actively pulling my shoulders back. This is me just letting my shoulders flop forward and getting a little bit more stretch in the back. If you want to take those hands and place them on your back, you can. Maybe they interlace those fingers just to hold on to one another. And again, same thing. We're not holding our elbows up. We're letting those elbows flop to the side. And again, you might be in a position to be able to rock a little side to side here. Fast or slow, you decide what you want to do. And you can always extend those hands up if they're interlaced up into the sky, or pull them down by your bum. From here, again, rocking side to side, the hands might come with you. Child's pose is a gentle hip opener. It's quite nice to just let your chest fall down in between your knees. And do a couple more breaths here. Movement, no movement. And then we're going to come out of this child's pose. So if your hands are interlaced either above your head or behind your back, let's release them down. Let's bring those hands by our shoulders. Once the hands are on the ground, you can start to lift your chest up. And we're going to bring those knees in. We're going to walk ourselves up so that we're in tabletop, knees underneath the hips. Tuck your toes in. Spread your fingertips nice and wide. And once your toes are tucked, keep them tucked, and then just press your butt back towards your heels, and you should feel a nice little stretch. You're just sitting back, stretching out those toes. Now, if you have really tight Achilles tendons or calves or the plantar surface of your foot, stay here. If you want to walk yourself up and lift your knees and press your heels down towards the ground, If you need support of a book, a towel, a block underneath those feet, you can. If you're able to eventually walk yourself so that those heels can get flat on the floor, my hands are down for some support, but again, you can always wrap around the elbows and really roll that spine forward. If you can get your elbows around your knees and you can tuck in, my feet are flat on the floor, and then just lean forward a little bit. So again, we have a lot of versions here. You can have your hands on the floor and just pressing your bum towards your heels with your knees on the floor. You can be starting to roll back and maybe your heels are elevated, or you might look a little bit more like me. You can also separate the knees and come in through and squeeze in like a little ball. That might feel more comforting. Or you can go around the knees and open up the back a little bit more. Again, we're just taking some time to see what feels good for us, stretching out the Achilles tendon. To get out of this one, if you have your elbows held onto by the hands, just walk those hands back down. Lift your heels off and walk out. And then place the knees back down. And let's just walk out to our tabletop. Let's release those toes to straight and give them a little paddle. Once your fingertips are spread nice and wide, your knees are underneath your hips again, your feet are flat on the floor, take your back hand, send it through, and your pinky tries to touch your front leg. And slide on down here so that your palm is faced up, and turn your head to the side. So instead of bringing the arm directly out in front of you, we're just bringing it down. The back arm is down on the diagonal. Now you can take that top hand and walk it to the top of the mat. And then palm face down, walk it behind your head. Press that palm firmly down. Press the back of the hand down. And then look up underneath your armpit. Nice deep breaths here. Close your eyes. A beautiful stretch here. And when you're stretching in the jungle, there's so many noises. It's not difficult to stay present because all these different sounds happen. The loudest one at the moment is probably the cicadas, but you probably can hear a lot of the birds. There's quite a few butterflies. And there's an occasional fly or two. Sometimes a honeybee comes by. Grasshoppers. It's not hard to stay present in the jungle, especially if you're not used to being in the jungle, because every little thing that lands near you, you're going to take a look at it, see what it is, see if it hops on your body. Definitely a different experience. If you're normally in a city, coming out into nature. So again, if you can imagine being here in this environment when you're on your mat, just listening to the noises through, listening to the sounds through your device. A couple more nice deep breaths here. And then we're going to turn our head to look neutral. Walk the hand behind the head back in line with the shoulder. Press into the hand that's on or in line with the shoulder and unwind yourself here. We'll do everything on the other side. So set yourself up, knees underneath your hips, feet flat. Take your front hand, take the pinky, palm up and slide it right against your back leg. Drop your shoulder down. And then gently close the head down. Now staying here is great. If you want to stretch out your hand over your head, feel free to do that. Palm is down. And then if you want more of a spinal twist, you walk your hand up around your head. And then you can turn your head to look to the ceiling. Now again, in restorative and yin practices, the idea is to stay present in the moment, not clear the mind completely. That can mean a few things. You can be noticing how your body feels. That keeps you present. You could be listening to the sounds and wondering what they are in this video. You could be listening to my voice. You could be listening to noises in your environment, something that's happening maybe in your house, in your gym, wherever you happen to be. And all of that just means you're present. It means your mind can't wander into things that have already happened that you can't control, or things that are going to happen that, again, you can't control. So we're going to leave the past and the future to be what they are, and we're going to remain right here in the present, which is the only thing you can control. I'm talking about control. Let's think about the breath. The best way to remind the body that it's in a resting state is through breathing through your nose. Again, any high intensity activity, anytime that we're scared, your breath quickens. You're trying to get more oxygen into the body because you're in a fight-flight response. And when you're trying to relax, being in a fight-flight response is not going to allow you to relax. So taking in those nice, deep, slow, controlled breaths, noticing how the air enters in through the nose. Maybe we even examine our nose, meaning, is the air passing through both nostrils equally, free? Or maybe is one nostril more plugged than the other? Or maybe you're experiencing both nostrils and you do have to continue to breathe through your mouth. And again, just different responses for the body. A couple more nice, slow, controlled breaths here before we unwind. If you have the hand behind your head, go ahead and walk it in line with the shoulder, palm face down. Press into that palm and release yourself out. Let's do a couple of cat-cows here. So fingertips spread nice and wide, knees underneath the hips. I like to tuck the toes at this point. You can keep your hands facing forward or slowly start to turn them in. Now I can really get my hand to turn all the way in. Some of us might not have that range of motion in the wrists or the shoulder, so you're just going to turn it as much as you can. And once you've got your hands turned either out to the sides or in towards your knees, I want you to just pull your shoulders back away from the ears and drop your belly down and then look up to the sky. So we're actively dropping our chest in between our shoulders and squeezing those shoulder blades towards one another. Looking up, letting the belly drop and tipping the tailbone. A couple of nice deep breaths in this cow pose. Then we're going to change it to the cat and hold in cat. So go ahead and arch your back to the sky. Tuck your chin to look to the belly button. Press into your toes and into your fingers. And just arch as much as you can to the sky. Again, a couple of nice deep breaths here. Feeling the stretch in the forearms, especially if you've got your fingers turned all the way towards the knees. And then we're just going to take one breath to drop into cow and then one breath to come into cat. So let's take a nice deep breath in to get to our cat. And then exhale, drop into the shoulders and look to the sky. Inhale, rise. And exhale, lower. Try and squeeze those shoulder blades together. Tip the tailbone and look up. 2 more times. Rise and lower. 1 more time. Big rise. And then come into a flat back. Release those hands to the front. And you can stay where you are, but I'm going to turn to the front so that you can see. And I'm just going to sit back onto my heels. I'm going to walk my knees out a little bit. I'm going to have my hands down in front of me. Now I'm going to try and bring my hands underneath my shoulders. And I'm just going to lift up the palms, but the fingers are down. And then lower back down. Okay? So this has the least amount of resistance because we're just lifting up. And most of our weight is seated down in our bums, close to our heels. If you want a little bit more, walk those hands out and lift up. And then you can lift up onto the fingers right at the knuckle crease. And down, up and down. If you need a little bit more, knees come together, hands right underneath the shoulders so that you're back into that tabletop. And do the same thing. Lift up and lower down. 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 Let's turn those hands out to the sides. Same thing. We can be down and taking the stress off. Just walk those hands underneath the shoulders here. You can come up a little bit more, or you can come into that full tabletop and do the same thing. Okay. Lifting up and coming back down. Strengthening the wrists, stretching those hands. We normally have them curled around phones, maybe your Kindle or other reader. Maybe you type a lot on keyboard still. Do 2 more as you lift up. Take a big inhale and exhale. 1 more time, big inhale and exhale, and back into the turn. Okay, so again, this one's going to be super challenging if you have your knees stacked, so you might want to come back into something like this and then just lift up and straighten. Bend the elbows, lift up and straighten. Or you can go ahead, keep the elbows straight and lift up and lower. This one's really going to work into those forearms, right into here. 2 more times, lifting up, lower down, big inhale, rising up, and lower down. Good. Let's go ahead and release. Have a seat. Interlace those fingers and do some rolls here with the wrists. Give them a little shake. Give them a little roll out, whatever you feel you need to do. And then sit up nice and tall. Roll the shoulders back and down. Tuck the chin into your chest. Just sitting up nice and tall for a moment here. So your spine is nice and long here. We're going to take that nice length. We're going to put it into our hamstrings. So stack your head up onto your shoulders. Take one leg out. I have my left leg out. And I'm placing my right foot inner thigh. Now, some of you, this is a natural sort of way to sit if you normally sit cross-legged. But if you want to go ahead and rotate your leg out so you have an internal rotation from the femur, you can go ahead and flip your leg underneath, And then everyone, whether you've got your leg in by your thigh or out like me, you're going to flex your left toe, if you're on the left side like me, and roll your shoulders back. Tuck your chin down, but sit up as tall as you can. Some of us might have straps, belts, that will allow you to get into this posture a little bit easier. And you can take your belt strap, wrap it around your foot. But if you don't have any tools like me today, all I want you to do is allow your chin to stay tucked and lean forward. So we're not rolling those shoulders, we're tucking the chin and pulling your head back. Okay? So it's going to look like a double chin. So if I'm sitting up here, tuck your chin and pull it back. Okay? So as we walk our hands forward, tuck the chin and pull it back to try and give yourself a nice double chin here. Okay? Because this is a video, unless you're doing this video with some friends, and if they're your friends, it shouldn't matter, but I really want you to pull back, make a funny looking chin, and just feel that stretch as you pull back. Now, a lot of us have a forward hang because we sit here and look at stuff. So really pulling back and giving yourself that double chin is going to do wonders for your posture. So pull back and lean forward. Placing those hands out a little bit further. And again, I can't get too far. Now, I can get right down. If I want to roll my head down and roll my spine, I can get right down. That is not the goal. Okay? The goal is to press into your hands, pull your shoulders back, and then pull your chin in. Give yourself a double chin and lean forward. If you're doing that, you're not going to get anywhere near it. You saw that I could actually get my head onto my knee. And in this position, if I'm pulling my shoulders back and giving myself a double chin and leaning forward, it means that I'm restricting the movement because I'm not bending the spine. Okay, we have a tendency to bend that spine, and this is what I want you to not do. Pull back, tuck the chin, straighten your arms, squeeze the shoulder blades together, lean on in. All right, tuck the head, fall forward, roll your spine, take your right hand inside and your left somewhere on the inside of your left leg. Okay? Once you've got your hand turned in here, you're just going to press forward. So if you're on the inside, you're just doing this and turning forward. If you've got this internal rotation, you're just pressing forward and you're supporting yourself here. If you can lift your right hand off and take it behind you, look down at your left shoulder, reach your right hand behind. So you're pressing into your leg. If you've got your knee like me, press your knee down into the ground and press your left shoulder towards your right knee. Again, you can do that with the right leg in the other position. Really look over that left shoulder. You might be able to hear what sounds like a dog barking in the background. Those are the howler monkeys. Again, I'm not sure what the microphone's picking up. Hopefully my voice more than anything else. If you've got your right hand up, scoop it down and let your left shoulder come back more to a neutral position. Walk your hands on either side of your left leg. Lift into a position where your right knee is now back into your inner thigh. And everybody just turn over to the right knee and look over your right shoulder. Release out. Do it again. Big inhale, twist. And exhale. Last one, twisting the opposite direction. And then release. We're going to do everything on the other side. So again, decide what the legs need. Heel in, sit up nice and tall, and tuck the chin in and pull back. So it should look like a funny double chin here. And your shoulders are pulled back. We're trying to make ourselves look as much as we've got 4 or 5 chins as possible. Now, if that is okay, you can flip the knee around. And don't worry, if you did it on one side and this hip is not allowing for it, don't press it, okay? Just notice that one hip might feel a little bit looser than the other, and one might be able to internally rotate a little easier than the other one. If you need to go external rotation, just honor that, okay? So we're going to go ahead and turn towards your leg, roll the shoulders back, tuck the chin in, and then lean forward, okay? So again, I'm not getting very far here because I'm pulling my shoulder blades back. I'm tucking my chin in, and I'm pulling myself up as high as I can. This is the difference. Rolling the shoulders forward and diving down. This is all spine. Very little activation for the upper. So pull the shoulders back, squeeze the blades, and tuck the chin. Lean forward. It's a hinge from the hip. That's going to do a lot more for the glutes and the hamstrings here. And you're supporting yourselves with your hands. A couple more nice deep breaths here as we continue to pull our shoulders back, tuck our chin in, really do exactly the opposite that we do all day seated. Release the shoulders, release the chin, come on up. Right hand somewhere on the right leg. Lean forward, press into that arm or press into that hand and let the right shoulder rotate forward. Supported by the left hand, or if you'd like a little bit more rotation, go ahead and take that left hand to the sky, and instead of looking at that hand, turn and look over your right shoulder. Really reach and stretch. Press that knee down, the left knee down, and take the right shoulder towards it. Especially when you have your legs in right position, you're going to get into the inner part of this hip. If you're pressing down through that knee, you'll get it probably through the outer hip. And depending on if you have a lot of range of motion when you sit cross-legged, if you can get those knees out to the side, you probably won't feel too much. But if you're a person who has a little less range of motion in those hips and the knees hover out, then by pressing that knee down, you'll feel it. Let's do 2 more nice deep breaths here. Bringing that left hand down, taking the right hand off, sweeping that left foot into inner thigh, taking the hands on either side of the left foot, roll the shoulders back, and then we're just going to place those hands down so that we can twist and look over the left. And bring it back. We'll do that 2 more times. Big inhale and twist. And exhale. 1 more time. Big twist. And exhale. Taking it to your back. Go ahead and find yourself lowered onto your mats. Take your hands up to the side. And allow your knees just to drop to the front. Now this is your basic twist. Fully relaxed, letting your shoulders relax. Your back shoulder should be Relax you to the floor. Your knees do not have to stay stacked. They can separate, and you're just feeling yourself fully supported by the ground. A couple more nice deep breaths here. And deciding whether you want to move on. Your bottom foot can come up and rest on your top knee, and that'll allow you a little bit more twist. If that doesn't feel comfortable, just go back to stacked knees. Whenever we move a part of the body, other parts tend to tense up, so go back to checking on your shoulders, relax them, relax your jaw, your eyes, all the muscles in your face. Again, just finding a comfortable position here. If you want to look away from those front knees, just turn your head to look in the back to get a little bit more cervical spine. You're trying to roll that back shoulder down towards the ground. If you want to go back to the breathing where you count for 4, pause, and then exhale for 6, that really keeps your focus in the present. Then if you want to do a little body scan and figure out where you hold your tension, I always tell everyone that the 3 common places to hold tension are the jaw, the shoulders and upper back, the lower back, and your hips. Do 2 more nice deep breaths here. We will switch to the other side. So if you've got your bottom leg on your top knee, just let that out. And then roll onto your spine. And bring those feet just outside of your hips. Let the knees drop to the back. Bring them forward and let them drop to the front. And you should notice that you've got a lot more range of motion as you drop those knees to the front, because that's the way we were stretching earlier, and maybe it's a little bit more limited or restricted moving the other way. And then one more time to the back. And then bring your feet a distance apart. Let those knees drop to the back. And again, just find some comfort in this posture. So, shoulders are relaxed. Let the lips part. You don't need to clench those teeth or use the tongue on the roof of the mouth. Just try and relax the mouth. Let those hips fall back. They don't need to be perfectly stacked. The knees can separate. If you've been doing my Pilates, a lot of the times I don't want those hips to drop back in this particular practice. It's just allowing your spine to decompress. So in this one, you do not use your muscles to keep your hips stacked. If you want a little bit more, you're taking that bottom ankle or heel and placing it on the knee. If you have a lot more range of motion in the hips, you can slide up a little bit higher. And then see how low that top knee can get to the floor. And again, it's not a competition to get that knee to the floor. It's about getting that stretch in the back. If you're arching your back up like crazy, again, it's too much. You just want to let your body relax. We're not holding our breath. We're not breathing in the top part of our lungs. It's full breath. Again, those counted breaths and pausing to really fully expand those lungs and be aware is an awesome way to do your practice. Again, just honing in on where you normally know that you have your pain. Some of us are feeling it in our shoulders and our neck, so this is where our attention has to go to make sure we're relaxing those muscles. Some of us, it'll be in our jaw. So again, little side-to-side movements or draw circles with the bottom jaw. And maybe it's into your hips, so instead of squeezing your butt and trying to keep your knees in a particular way or squeeze your inner thighs, you're just trying to let everything go. Let those legs drop where they need to. If you want to turn and look away from those knees, go ahead and do that and get a little cervical spine. You can stay maybe a little more on this particular side. If you're joining me, we're going to slowly bring ourselves off of the top leg. Slide your knees together so they're stacked. Bringing yourself all the way onto your back. And then lift up your pelvis and drop it down. Bring one knee into your chest, followed by the other. Give yourself a hug here. And a little rock side to side. We're going to come into our final posture, placing one foot down, followed by the other. Hands can be wherever you need them, over your head, out to the side, palms up or down. Walk your feet just out to the sides of your mat, let the knees touch. This time, once you've got your knees just touching, allow your front knee to drop down as your left knee points to the sky, or your back knee points to the sky, just depending on what or how you're lying on your mat. And then bring the knee that was between, that dropped, point that one to the sky, and let the other one drop in. One more time, the first knee drops in between the feet, and the other one points to the sky. And then do the same thing on the other side. Now here's the difference. You're going to drop your front knee down between your feet, and then you're going to let your other knee squeeze in. So you're trying to take your knees and overlap them in an internal rotation. Lift the back knee up, then the front knee. Let the back knee drop down between the feet, and then take the front knee and cross it over. You're on the insides of your feet. So you can probably see my foot is lifted off, and I'm just on the side of it, and the same thing, even more so on the back foot. Release out of that. Walk those feet together. Let the knees touch, or extend one heel out, and let the foot fall out to the side. Slide the other heel out, and let the foot fall to the side. Gently shake your head a little side to side, and just let it relax. Starting from your feet, giving a little wiggle of the toes, a little movement of the ankles, maybe some circles, and really flex your heels and stretch. Maybe lift your heels off the floor, and so that you're just pressing your calves down into the mat. Hold, 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 and then release. We're going to do the same thing by bringing the awareness up the legs into your hips and your glutes. I want you to squeeze your glutes and lift up a little bit, and then lower back down. Squeeze your butt, lift up a little bit, lower back down. This time we're going to stay in squeeze, so lift up, squeeze your butt, squeeze your butt, squeeze your butt. See if you can press your heels into the mat and lift the backs of your legs off. So you're squeezing your butt super tight, and then release. Then we're going to bring the awareness into our shoulders. We're going to lift up our chest so that we've got a gap in between our back. So it's like a fish pose. You're going to tuck your shoulders underneath, lifting up your chest and tucking your chin. And then slowly lower down. Inhale, rise up, tuck the shoulders in again, chin to chest, and then lower down. One more time. Lift up the chest, tuck the shoulders in, double chin, hold up. Press into the backs of the arms. See if you can lift up your chest a little higher. Maybe get the shoulder blades off. Press into the back of the head. And then exhale. Let the shoulder blades slide out. Let the arms relax. And then we're going to bring our awareness all the way down our arms into our fingers. So wiggle the fingers, roll the wrists, bend at the elbows, make fists, and curl up in. Squeeze as much as you can, and then release. Ball up, squeeze, tight, 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 and then release. One more time, ball up, bring your knuckles into your forearms, press your elbows into the ground as you squeeze your wrists into your forearms. 4, 3, 2, 1, release. Let those hands just fall down. And the last one is bringing our awareness back into our head, a little rock side to side. And we're going to clench our teeth and press your tongue to the roof of your mouth. So grit your teeth, press your tongue into the roof of the mouth, and hold. Release. 2 more times. Press your tongue as hard as you can to the roof of your mouth. Bite down. 1 more time. We're going to hold it. So press into the roof of the mouth. Bite down hard. And release. Let the jaw move side to side. Draw some circles. And take a deep breath in. And exhale. Sometimes you have to tense up the muscles to know how to release them. Now we're bringing the awareness into our foreheads, around our eyes. Take a nice deep breath in. Let it go. One more time, deep breath in. And let it go. Just try and relax all of your body. This is your Shavasana, your corpse pose, your time just to lie still. No more movement. No more telling you different ways to move your body. It's all about you, body scan, your breath, and silence. It's been approximately 2 minutes of silence. If you need more, please feel free to stay. If you're looking for movement again, it's wiggling the toes and fingers. It's moving the wrists and the ankles, circles side to side. Sliding the heel so that you can bend the knee the other way. And then bringing the knee into the chest, followed by the other one, grabbing onto those knees with the hands, pulling them into the chest. Let's draw circles with the knees to the front, around to the back, and then the other way. Back 3 And then we're placing one foot down, followed by the other, rolling onto your side. And then once you feel comfortable to roll yourself up to seated, go ahead and do that. We'll take a couple of cat cows and seated, so hold onto your knees, rolling yourself into a cat and getting your elbows in by your side, pulling your chest forward, looking to the sky. Inhale and exhale. One more time. Big inhale. Exhale, pull through. Sit up nice and tall. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Inhale those hands up, look to the sky. Exhale, bring your hands down through the center, chin to chest. We'll do that one more time. Big inhale, rising up. Let the hands come into your lap. Let your head stack naturally on top of your shoulder. Thank you, everyone, for the practice today. I hope you have a little bit more relaxation in your body. Again, if you'd like to reach out, please feel free to comment. And I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening.